Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Edwards. Joining us now to discuss today's important news from Atlas Salt is Atlas President Roland Howe, as well as CEO Patrick Laracy. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
Well, as usual, we will start with Mr. Salt. Now, Roland, you pointed out last time the incredible potential salt endowment of the Bay St. George Basin in Western Newfoundland, based on the drilling at Great Atlantic and all the data regarding the Fishelsbrook Salt Dome 15 kilometers to the south. Well, now we learned today that there's a Fishelsbrook East based on additional gravity survey data. Is there any end to these salt deposits, Roland?
Well, it's a large salt basin, and it's 350 million years old, and over time it's been moved and shaped, and it's created a number of advantaged assets for us. The Great Atlantic Salt Project is perfect for mining, and now we have salt domes too within the region. So it could be described as elephant country for salt.
Okay, that's a good way of putting it. Well, Roland, we all know about your impressive background at Goderich in Southern Ontario and how you turned that into the largest underground salt mine in the world with Compass Minerals. Now, prior to that, from the late 1980s to the mid 90s, you were in the UK at the Winslow Mine. And well, tell us about that experience because it's a great illustration of the effectiveness of underground storage.
Absolutely. The Winslow Mine is in Cheshire in the UK. And when I went there, it was already about 120 years old, and a shallow mine, very similar sort of depth to what we're proposing here, but had been really conservatively mined. So it created a lot of stable underground spaces. And those spaces have been turned to useful areas by creating a document storage business. It's called Deep Store UK. And literally, they store documents for everybody from the government to the police to the local authorities. And it's a fantastic model, but it's the space that the salt mining left behind that really had created the value.
What an interesting usage. Okay, also at Winsford, you spearheaded proof of concept with continuous miners for underground salt mining. And continuous miners have really revolutionized the salt mining business. Tell us more about that.
Well, when I first got there, one of my roles was to really explore new options and alternatives. And the mine already had a staff that was really quite adventurous, I should say. But we took some machines that were being used by a contractor there and started exploring options to use them for production equipment. And we tried some different types, different ones, and it really demonstrated the proof of concept that continuous mining would work at Winsford.
All right, now, Patrick, it's your turn. You already have a massive, deeply rooted salt dome at Fishelsbrook. Well, today's news suggests there's a second salt dome about 3 kilometers to the east, a target now referred to as Fishelsbrook East, which has yet to be drilled. Is this a totally separate structure, or is it possibly connected at depth with the main Fishelsbrook deposit?
Well, yeah, Cindy, we do have a gravity signature, which is consistent with the second dome, approximately 1.5 kilometers in diameter and very deeply rooted. What we do know geologically is that these two domes are sourced from the same vast deposits of salt which occur in the Bay St. George Basin. It's a very large area. This region became restricted over geological time, which allowed the seawater to evaporate and produce expansive area of salt, which over time moved, as salt is prone to do over millions of years geological time, and it has produced salt domes. Obviously, most notably the Fishelsbrook Dome, where we have extensive drilling information and new gravity data. And the exciting thing about the new gravity survey that we shot is that we've located what looks like to be another salt deposit.
Oh my. Okay. Well, why are these salt domes so important to the clean energy transition, Patrick?
Well, potentially storage, right? They're just huge underground potential storage vessels. And anytime you produce an energy source, you need a balancing effect to manage the load between the production of the energy and the demands of the consumer, because they don't always mesh in terms of the volume of energy that's required. So you need that storage, that in quotation marks, a battery to hold that energy and deliver it to the customer on demand.
Now, Patrick, you're creating a whole new company through a spinout comprising Fishelsbrook and all of the Atlas Salt assets outside of your flagship Great Atlantic deposit. So, when can investors expect to hear more about the upcoming spinout?
Very soon. That process is well underway. It's very exciting. We've got a brand new company. It's going to have its own management team with the expertise in storage and wind and energy. We've got a very strong investor base that's going to support this company. We're really excited to see it come out of the gate. And as you mentioned, we've got the Fishelsbrook Dome, the East Dome, and a whole raft of other mineral licenses in the St. Fintons area that stretch 25 kilometers along the coast of Bay St. George. So we've got a very significant land package, which is going to underpin this new company.
Not surprising, several major companies have publicly declared their interest in Newfoundland and Labrador with respect to green hydrogen opportunities. Now, given that Atlas owns the only known salt domes in Newfoundland and Labrador, is it safe to assume you've handled a lot of inquiries from interested parties?
Yes, we've been approached by several different groups about our plans in the Bay St. George Basin. We are in a unique position with our salt assets and their potential storage opportunities. And I think that's a reflection of the enthusiasm for clean energy in our part of the world. Of course, wind is a big asset, and the provincial government has made steps and has certainly indicated their support for the generation of clean energy in the province.
Gentlemen, indeed exciting times from Atlas Salt and its upcoming spin-out. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I look forward to speaking with you both again very soon. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. See you next time.